when you're as ambitious as I am, you start to think outside of yourself. Instead of financing everyone else's lifestyle and allowing them to make bad decisions, you say, how can I show this person how to get water and actually drink it rather than being the horse that's led to water and not drinking it, right? How can I lead this person to water and show them the way? Now, that's my personal desire. I have to also understand that that might not be their desire to be rich. It might not be their desire to be well off. It may even be their desire to live in perpetual debt. There's a lot of people who go to school, they take out a student loan, and they'll say, I'm never going to pay this off. Maybe they're crippled by the fact that it's $20,000 and they've never had $20,000 before. Maybe they're crippled by the fact that this is the most money they've ever seen in their life. And even though they make 100,000, they just cannot save for 4 months to pay that thing off. Whatever the case may be, they weren't encouraged, they weren't guided, and they weren't led to the water. But at the same time, if you lead them to water, they can still say, you know what, I'm not going to drink it. It's too much. I don't want to be accountable. And so here's a big thing. I do believe that at 14 to about 18 is when your life is truly decided. You see, when everybody else was getting their sneakers, when everybody else was getting the handouts that their parents offered them, that their parents worked for, those tax returns, when you had the new Jordans, I was in New York City, thousands and thousands of kids. I knew when the newest sneakers would drop because everybody was talking about it. And I knew they would all have it on their feet. I did not have that. So being poor enough to know that every time a new sneaker dropped, it wasn't my conversation to have.
Yeah.
I wasn't engaging in those conversations. They weren't engaging with me, right? I knew that these kids would talk about it, but they wouldn't talk to me about it. I knew that I was the cool football player, but I wasn't the cool get fly guy. If I wore one new shoe throughout the whole year, I would get like 5 compliments that one day. Why? Because, oh, well, that's surprising. That's new, right? So when everybody had the desire to one up each other, they were probably going to their mom, they were probably going to their dad, like, I need this. That conversation never happened in my household because I knew I wasn't going to get it. And when I applied for the job at McDonald's, and I wouldn't even get an interview. When I applied for the jobs at Chipotle at 17, and I wouldn't get the interview because I had no resume. When I finally got the jobs at 18, I've already learned to not want things right now. I already learned to not be materialistic. I already learned that I can get women without having the newest and latest clothes, without even having money whatsoever. I had to be someone who could live without money. So I had to interact with people just off of me, right? So now when I live my life, it's never about, oh, yo, bro, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh, yo, bro, why you not doing this? Oh, you broke. I haven't heard you're broke
In a long time.
Maybe since 17 years of age.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it a day in my life since. And it's not even a thought that crossed my head until just now. That's why I'm laughing so much. But the thing is that when people have grown up to have everything right now, they can't even think about the future because what about right now?
Yeah.
What about right now? This other person got the newest shoes, and I'm used to asking and getting those shoes. But you no longer ask your parents, you're asking your credit card, can I afford this? And when you do that, you're stealing from your future. And people have never had to think about their future. But that's all I had to think about. All I had to think about was how I could be rich later, how I could have a mansion later, how I could have more later, from one house to two. I never thought I would have two houses. Now I'm bidding on a third.
Right.